Well, I've always been told that they live up here in Wayne Forest, right up north up here. And then in the wintertime, they come down here, when they run out of food up there, they come down here looking for something to eat. Last January, I lost two of my best laying hens there one night. Right after that, I put my dog out here, penned him out here for a couple of weeks. And after a couple of weeks, I heard an awful noise out here, come out here, and I heard he had one cornered in there. And just as I opened up the door, out he came, and he took off and left. Now they call those things warcats. I don't know why. They're really no more than a great big tomcat. They're big though. Boy, they're big as a hound dog. And mean, oh hell, they're mean. And fight, they'll stand right up to a dog if they get cornered. Of course, everybody around here has had problems with it one time or another, I guess. It ain't as bad as it used to be though. I remember when I was a kid, my grandpa used to tell me how they used to go out hunting them. Back in those days, they had a bounty on them, $10 a piece, which was quite a bit of money. And so they'd go out, several of them would go out for several days looking for them and see if they could find any. As a matter of fact, he hurt his leg one time out hunting for him. He was on a horse, and the horse threw him. Cat came along and scared the horse, and he fell off and drug him a little ways, and he got hurt.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Arnold Farmington, Professor of American History at The Ohio State University. The man we've just seen is Norbert Pohl. He owns a farm just south of Wayne National Forest in southeastern Ohio. He's talking about a rare animal that roams the Ohio Valley, the Mongolian Warcat. This animal was once a scary legend to the early settlers of the Ohio Valley, but its quickly diminishing numbers have made it a virtual unknown. Yet the history of the Mongolian Warcat does not diminish, and that's what we'll focus on. The Mongolian Warcat was originally bred as a fighting game cat by Chinese feudal lords in the 6th and 7th centuries in northern China. However, the great Genghis Khan recognized the fierce nature of these fighting cats and trained a large group of them to be used in close battle with horsemen. He made a small ornate box in which the cat was kept and fixed it alongside the saddle. In close battle, the men could trip the latch of the box, uncaging the cat. The cat would spring from the box onto the enemy horseman's mount. The soldier and his terrified horse were clawed and bitten as the cat clung to the mane of the horse or sprang to the ground and clawed at the exposed underbelly of the horse. However, after Khan's death, the warcat was again used as a fighting game cat. In 1756, during the French and Indian War, the Marquis de Montcalm was commander of the French forces in America. The eccentric Montcalm was considered an authority on Oriental warfare and held quite a fascination with the warcat. As the war went well for the French, Montcalm visualized the cats as watch cats to patrol the walls of the French fort. He sent a ship to Tientsin to obtain 100 game cats, but because of the shipping problems, less than 50 arrived alive in 1758. Upon arrival, they were delivered to Fort Duquesne in the Ohio Valley to the awaiting Montcalm. Unfortunately, Fort Duquesne was overtaken shortly after the delivery, and during the battle, the cats escaped into the Ohio Valley. The cats were able to survive, although their presence made the settlers uncomfortable. Occasionally, a cat would be blamed for a few chickens being killed. As a result, a bounty was placed on the heads of the cats, but few were known to be captured. The cats have survived over the past 200 years, taking refuge in Wayne National Forest. It is believed some 10 to 25 warcats still remain in the Ohio Valley. Dr. Robert Michaels is a zoologist. He is currently director of the Manson Studies Group for the state of Ohio and holds a PhD from Yale. We asked him to describe the cat.
The Feline belay, better known as the Mongolian Warcat, is a carnivorous animal, or what is commonly called a meat eater. He lives primarily on squirrels, rabbits, mice, and other small animals. Now, normally he wouldn't raid farms, basically because he's afraid of people, but when he's hungry enough, he'll easily ravage a hen house. The Warcat is not really a savage animal, but if he's cornered or hungry, he can be extremely fierce, and this fierce nature is part of its survival instincts. The Warcats travel in very loose groups, unlike wolves or dogs. Their mating is limited to members of their own species. Therefore, the limited number have remained a relatively pure breed.
Robert Harris is director of the Natural History Museum of Detroit and is a leading researcher of the Mongolian Warcat. We joined Mr. Harris on a recent expedition of his to Wayne National Forest.
I was first introduced to the Warcat while I was doing my undergraduate work at Ohio University. I was doing a research paper on the extermination of natural predators in the Ohio Valley when I came upon references to the cat. I've been researching it ever since. I guess I've been to the Ohio Valley about 10 times looking for the cat. I found a great deal of evidence that he exists here. Last time I was here, late last fall, I found his hole over there across the creek. See it? Can you get a shot of it? That hole under the brush there? Yeah. Well, I camped near here for a solid week. The cat finally showed up, and I was able to do several sketches of him and the surroundings. It's amazing. The cat has no natural enemies, but somehow his numbers have stayed insignificant. Shh! Be real still. Look up the hallways. There's one coming down. Must be going to its hole.
Teri, go.
See him? Try and get a camera on him, can you? Shh. Next that fallen tree. Shh. Shh. He sensed us. Shh. Be still. Shh. He's taking off right there. Try to follow him. Walk fast. I think we lost him. Oh well.
Did we? Wait, you go in a hole? You see him, Teri?
Yeah, he went up there.
There. Yeah, oh well.
If we stare again, we'll get him.
To date, no Mongolian warcats in America have been captured alive, and the domesticated fighting game cats of China are nearly extinct. For this reason, James Moore, director of the Indianapolis Zoo, is eager to catch a pair in hopes of preserving the cat in America.
I first heard of the Mongolian Warcat in 1956 when I first took the job in Indianapolis. I would like to obtain a Warcat for two reasons. First, of course, is that no other zoo has one, and I'd like ours to be the first. Second is the fact that the species is in danger of extinction, and it's historically important for us to try to preserve it. Wayne National Forest caters to more and more tourists and campers every day. This expansion is stifling the essential isolation that the cat needs to survive. If we don't do something now, the Warcat in America will be extinct within the next few years.
Dr. Jack Gottschang, professor of zoology at the University of Cincinnati, does not share the familiarity with the Mongolian Warcat that the rest of our experts do. In fact, he has never heard of it.
I am not familiar with the Mongolian Warcat. In fact, I've never read anything about it. I've just completed a book on the mammals of Ohio that's entailed about 20 or 25 years of research, and I've never seen the animal referred to in the state of Ohio. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist here. We're getting reports all the time of strange mammals in the state of Ohio, and I'll be most interested in any future reports on this mammal in the state.
As you've seen, to some the Mongolian Warcat is a pest. To others it is a prized possession, and to at least one, a myth. The fate of the cat in the Ohio Valley is at best uncertain. The demands of man for more and more land will make it impossible for the cat to survive much longer. I'm Arnold Farmington. Good night.